Want to know the reason you missed the red flags in the beginning of your relationship? Very red flags that you probably swear weren't even there. And I get people coming to me all the time, 2 years, 5 years, 25 years into a fucking relationship that has now gone to shit. And they swear there were no red flags. They're like, oh, I was being love bombed. There were no red flags. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And there are 3 reasons you missed the red fucking flags. 1, you saw them. Maybe you didn't miss them, but you saw them, but you wanted to ignore them because you were finally getting some fucking love in your fucking love cup. And you're like, I'm not going to let that go. Please don't leave. Please don't leave. I'll give you anything. You can treat me any way you want. I can't bear the thought of being alone because when I'm alone, all those fucking voices from my past come rising up in my head. See, you're shit. You're no good. See, you're alone. All that shit. Second reason, and the next 2 reasons are the reason that happens, that you ignore signs or don't see them, or don't even believe they exist, is because in your childhood home, there was such a dearth of love. There was no kind words. There was no affection. There was little time together. There was little support. They didn't give a shit about your fucking feelings. Whatever mix of those that it caused you to have either no love in your love cup or very, very little. So you go into a fucking adulthood at this massive shortage, you're bone dry. And then you get somebody, maybe you have a tiny smidgen in there, but then you get somebody giving you a triple smidgen, and nowhere near a full love cup, just a triple smidgen. And you're like, oh my God, this is fucking balm to the soul. This is rain in the desert. You're dancing in the fucking rain. You think this is your forever love. No, it's not. It's just more than you got back there in a love-starved home. And so as a result, you can't see the fucking red flags because you're so blinded by this amount of love that you've never gotten before, even though it's such a small amount. The second reason that's even more powerful is that back in your home growing up, the very things that you now miss as red flags were normal back then. Think about that. The put-downs, the criticism, the never apologizing, that you're always wrong, the gaslighting, the fucking abuse maybe, the taking of all of your energy, the taking of your money, the doing whatever the fuck they want at your expense, the walking on eggshells. All of it was normalized for you back then. So you walk into a relationship, a dating relationship in adulthood, and you're like, you wouldn't even see those. Those aren't even red flags. They don't exist because you were taught that this shit's normal. Why would you think that's a fucking red flag? You wouldn't. And so you're being overwhelmed, blinded by love, and the things that would be red flags to any normal fucking person who hadn't had that childhood. Those red flags, they don't even exist. They're just whipping by until you get down the road. And those red flags metastasize and the love reduces. And you're realizing this sucks. So what are you tolerating? What have you been tolerating? What did you tolerate? What red flags did you miss? Worst of all, what are the fucking bastardized, fucked up versions of love that you're normalizing for your own children? What are you teaching them that is going to cause them to go into adulthood thinking shit is actually good? Worse, what are you tolerating in your home? Maybe you're not the one overtly selling it or teaching it to the kids, but you're allowing it to be taught to them such that they're going into a childhood, such that you are the one putting the seal of approval on it saying, this is normal, and it's going to fuck them up later. And at what point do you realize maybe that isn't such a good idea? Have a kick-ass day.